Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Sports Betting by Dummies. I am your host, Patty Parlays, and joining me as always, the guy of guys, the expert of experts. I don't know, I didn't have anything. Connor, welcome in. I ran out. I wasn't
Or
prepared.
Connor.
Yeah,
I'm your Connor. Okay.
yeah, ours. No one else's,
I
just
belong
ours.
to the pod.
Yeah, exactly. At least you know.
I'm owned by the pod.
I am legally owned by the podcast.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Don't tell your wife.
She knows.
Okay, at least she knows.
Yeah.
And joining us as always, the voice of God, the Green Goblin himself, Dizz. Dizz, welcome in, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Patty. I'm absolutely juiced for this football Friday, probably because I had a nuts week at work, and I'm gonna have a crazy packed weekend. But hopefully it's profitable too. That's why we're here, I guess, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And Merry Fifth Miss to you, Diz. I know you're going to have quite the time tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Love that our family schedules Christmas on Saturday morning and doesn't tell me. But apparently I wasn't listening when we talked about it. I call cap on that. Nonetheless, we are going to wake up, we are going to pound some water, and we're going to fight tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Well, for the record, I was there when we were talking about it. You were definitely there too. You just weren't paying attention. But nonetheless, we will move on. It's Friday,
Sweet.
so that means it's Football Friday. You guys know the drill. I'll go ahead and start us off with the favorite. And I told you guys I was going to do this. Jaguars -5 versus the Texans. I teased this one a bit yesterday, but the Texans have Davis Mills at quarterback. He's not going to win a game. The Jags have an interim head coach after getting rid of Urban Meyer. They got rid of the bad juju in the locker room. The teams are going to come out swinging. I like the Jags to roar on Sunday.
A heavy disagreement from me. And I normally support the okay, the coach just got canned. They're trying to prove a point. I am totally on that side when that team is the underdog. But the fact that Jacksonville is favored by 5 points against any team,
Yeah,
I don't care if it's the Texans, is nuts to me. If I'm picking a side, I'm taking the Texans +5. And if you remember, the Texans already beat Jacksonville week 1. It was like a surprise to people. I'm a little shocked, to be honest with you, about this line. It's one I'm going to stay away from, but if I had to take something, I'm going Texans +5 all day.
So, a couple things. So, yes, week 1, I was on the Texans. The Texans beat the Jaguars. But Tyrod Taylor was quarterback for the Texans at that point. Urban Meyer was the head coach at that point. And that was also Urban Meyer's first game as a head coach.
This is the interim coach first game as head coach.
I do not know. To be frank, I do not know. I don't think it matters. I think regardless of who's in there, you get a new head coach in there. Regardless of it, they're going to fight for him. And the new interim head coach did come out this weekend and said that James Robinson is our number one running back. He's our number one asset. We'll start treating him like that. James Robinson is phenomenal. The Texans' run defense is horrific. I think the Jags shocked the world. And this line actually moved from, it started out at -3. It actually moved to -5 with the news of Urban Meyer being fired. So
It seems to me that the Texans are a better value pick, especially on the spread line with it shifting that much. But I hope the Jags win, but +5 is too much for me. I'm riding Houston.
have the Jags won 2 games this season? Is that correct?
Yeah, they beat the Dolphins in London.
And I think it both, and they beat the Bills, right?
Correct. Yeah. So they have 3 wins.
Okay, 3 wins. But either way, I don't know that they've won by more than a field goal all season. And so them going to -5 might be extreme, but I'm riding with my boys. I know. Connor's just shaking his head. He wants no part of this, but
No, I don't.
Nonetheless, Connor, what was your favorite this weekend?
Well, to add on to that, I don't like a favorite, a dog, an over or an under in that game. I like nothing about that game.
That is definitely one where I could see a lot of people staying away from.
Yeah. Favorite, I am going with the Browns -1.
Okay.
Gee.
Fade Raiders season, we've been talking about it.
Yep.
And it's only 1 point for the Browns. And the Browns are still in the division to compete for first place even.
Correct.
Yeah. Raiders don't have a prayer at this point, I don't think.
Are you concerned with the COVID outbreak?
No
for the
concerns.
Browns?
No concerns at all at this time. No further questions.
I will agree with you. I do lean to the Browns, even with all of the people that are announced out. I think Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that's announced out, but I think that actually benefits the Browns, believe it or not.
Probably. But it's 1 point.
True. Yeah, they basically just have to win the game. Why aren't you going money line, Connor? That's right in your wheelhouse.
I'm going to do money line, but I had to pick a favorite and let you know the favorite.
Okay, gotcha. I was just curious. I was testing you.
Not crazy.
Okay, no. I just asking. Diz, who's your favorite this week? What?
My only thought on that. Sorry, I was going to comment.
Yep.
I really don't. I don't like any favorites this week, to be honest with you. But Browns were on my radar just because the spread was 1 point. So having to pick a favorite, the Browns are probably the safest bet. So I support Connor. With that being said, Certified Cover Boy is flipping the script and taking Cowboys minus 10.5 against the Giants.
Wow.
This is a horrendous week. I hate the board so much, especially on the favorite side. Giants are cheeks, and I think the Cowboys are going to take care of business. Let's keep it simple.
I don't really have a rebuttal to that. The Giants with Mike Glennon, they're not exactly the team. I'm just waiting, though, for like one of those teams like the Giants to have one of those weeks where they just put it all together and they end up winning against a team they shouldn't. But
it is a division game.
Yeah.
I would be worried about that. NFC East keeps division games close, minus the Cowboys kicking the shit out of the Eagles because for whatever reason, we're still starting Jalen Hurts. That's all I'm going to say about the Jalen Hurts situation.
Well, I was going to ask you.
Fired up.
The Eagles have the Washington football team this weekend. Washington football team has a COVID outbreak. Do you think that the Washington football team can still keep it within like the 10-point spread or whatever it is right now?
It's at 7.5 right now.
What?
Yep.
Well, I guess the question still stands. It's not as crazy now that it's only at 7.5. But do you like the Washington football team without their quarterbacks and whoever to stay within a touchdown in a division game like that?
I think it's very easy for anyone to stay within the spread against the Eagles if the Eagles are ever favored in the game.
Okay.
Because the Eagles play in the third quarter and fall off in the fourth.
Yeah.
You could have a tremendous lead at halftime, but we're coming to get you in the third, and then we just stop playing in the fourth.
One of these times, Connor, I'm going to pull the trigger and do like a crazy bet like that where I take like the Eagles first half and then take the other team to win the game. I'm waiting on.
I mean, the other team first half.
Sorry,
right?
Yeah, whichever way you have it, but have one team to win the first half, the other team to win the game, or to cover the spread at the end of the game, or whatever.
If the Eagles win, it's because third quarter they showed out more than they didn't in the first half, I guess.
Okay, gotcha. Dizz, what's your favorite underdog this week? I know you said you like a bunch of them, but you just got to pick your favorite. Which one you going with?
So I will clarify, Pat. You'll be proud of me for multiple reasons. The Patriots are my favorite my favorite underdog, but I read the episode notes, so I'm doing something else. But I'll save the Patriots spiel for you since it's your favorite underdog. My favorite underdog is Bengals plus 2.5 versus Denver. Really wish this was at 3. But nonetheless, I think the Bengals are going to win this game. They had a tough one against the Niners last week, but they fought back really, really hard, and they had a chance to win that game. I think they're going to pull this one out in Denver. I think they're the better roster. So I'm loving plus 2.5. Wish it was plus 3. We'll see if the line moves at all. But Bengals money line. But I'm going to go plus 2.5 as my favorite underdog for the Bengals.
Connor gave you the hands on his head, like, oh my God, I can't believe he just did that. What?
There's a reason I'm thinking I can't believe he did that.
Okay.
Because it was his.
It is mine.
Let's go!
Hold on. So I looked at the notes as well. I had the Patriots. I switched it to the Bengals.
Boys, hammer those two.
Oh my
parlay
God,
them
we might have
together.
just
Let's
found our
go.
group best bets for the weekend.
There we go.
All I was thinking was, there's no way he says Bengals.
Wow,
Plus
we,
2.5.
we are buzzing, boys. We are on the same page. The one thing that worries me about the Bengals, we were all on the Bengals last weekend and they let us down. But it's like the Bengals and the Chargers, those are the two teams in the league that you can get two very different teams week to week. Now we've seen some bad Bengals games recently, so that makes me lean that the Bengals have a bounce back this week. But that's just the thing, is you never know what you're getting with the Bengals. That's the one thing that worries me, is you just never know what you're getting. And they're going to that Rocky Mountain Air over in Denver. It's always a tougher game than people realize, but I think I feel good about that. And yes, for my underdog, I did go Patriots plus 2.5. Look at you guys reading the episode notes, though. Who would have thunk? You know?
Not me.
Yeah, crazy things happen. But for that Patriots game, I'm a Colts fan. This game is in Indianapolis. I just think this game should be a pick'em instead of a Colts being favored. And I'm just worried that if we get down to the Patriots, especially early on, if we have to rely on Carson Wentz to bring us back against a Bill Belichick-led defense, I don't know that we can do it.
This is my biggest thing here.
We
The Colts have made it known. The Colts have made it known that we're gonna make them pass the ball. We're gonna load the box and we're gonna make them pass the ball.
Yep.
Patriots are gonna do the exact same thing, and I'm really worried this is the Carson Wentz game where he plays. It's kind of like the Tampa Bay game. Like Tampa Bay shut us down on the ground, and Wentz had to play. And you can argue he played well until the end, but I just think Carson Wentz against the Patriots defense, really surprised we're favored. This is the clear as day emotional hedge. I want the Colts to win so fucking badly, and we need to win so fucking badly that I'm going to put a lot of money on Patriots money line and get a lot of value out of the emotions I'm going to have, because this is probably the game of the year, and I agree with you. It should be pick'em. I'm riding the Pats as well.
There you go. And I don't necessarily think Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Carson Wentz, but I think that Mac Jones doesn't really turn the ball over, and Carson Wentz just tries to do too much sometimes. And against a Bill Belichick-led defense, I just lean Patriots there.
I do as well.
Even with the Eagles, when it came down to games that were dependent on a final drive from Carson Wentz, you never really saw those games where he came through. So it was kind of upsetting to see that. But I hope he does turn that around and he's able to do that, because he's probably going to have to do that against the Patriots in order to win.
Yeah, and this could be that signature game that Carson Wentz needs to kind of finally silence those critics, right? He had a great season in Philly when he got hurt. He was putting up MVP numbers, but he wasn't in the Super Bowl. He wasn't leading the team on those, winning those games when he needed to. And there's been a couple times.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to cut you off. I thought you were done. I think he's had a great season. If you look at his numbers and like the way we're winning games, I think he just needs one game where he wins it for us. I think he's got the best offensive line in football. He's got Jonathan Taylor. He doesn't really have any receiving weapons, to be honest, but if he has a game where he balls out, makes huge throws, makes huge third down conversions, I think he's back. I think he's all the way back. He just needs that one game.
If it comes down to like a 2-minute drill or whatever, and he leads the team down on a game-winning drive and makes the big play, doesn't turn the ball over, doesn't do something stupid or detrimental to the team, then I would 100% agree with you.
Yeah. Let's go, baby.
All right. Favorite over, I'm going Packers-Ravens over 43.5. And upon further review of this, I am wondering if this is so low because of just all the Ravens injuries and the Packers defense being good. Because 43.5 seems really low for a total for a Packers game. But we say it all the time. The Ravens play to their competition. I don't think the Packers will have trouble scoring. And so I could see the Ravens, keeping it close in this game. So, trading blows back and forth, or maybe even if the Ravens get down big early, they claw their way back, score some points late, make it a close game. So I think 43.5 just seems really low here. So I'm going with the over, or maybe even maybe Lamar Jackson's not playing. Let me do some research on that now that I think about it. But Connor, if you want to go ahead and give us your over while I'm doing this research.
So as I mentioned before, I looked at the episode notes, but I couldn't go away from that game. That is still my game that I chose. So I also have the Packers Ravens. Yeah.
Do you concur though that total seems just ridiculously low?
I do. So I mean, just over 6 total touchdowns.
So
for a Packers game and a Ravens, it seems pretty wild to me.
So it does look like Lamar is questionable. It's not official yet if he is playing. But still, I still like the over in that one. Dizz, what about you? What's your favorite over?
I know we just talked a lot about this game, but it's Pats and Colts over 45.5. Now listen, I know the Pats have the best defense in football, and I know the Colts turn the ball. Their defense forces more turnovers than any other team. But simply put, both of these defenses are going to make them pass. Whether that's for better or for worse, I think we're going to see more points than we think because there's not going to be as much time of possession. I think the possessions are going to be quick. We may see a lot of turnovers. We may see a lot of interceptions. And even if a team can run the ball, points are going to be scored. I'm really honing in on that possession time because I think the possessions are going to be quick. And I think if there are a lot of turnovers, they're going to lead to points.
Is Dizz offering up a prop bet of defense for the Patriots to score a touchdown anytime in the game?
I don't hate that.
For my own well-being and the rage that I will have if that actually happens, I'm just deciding not to root for that at all. So I'm not going to bet on that. That's like an extreme emotional hedge. I'm not going to go that far.
I might go that far.
Yeah, but Pat, you're probably not even going to watch the game because you're a fraud fan.
Fraud fan.
It's Saturday night, isn't it?
It is Saturday night.
Well, if I'm stuck in my house all weekend, maybe I will end up watching it.
Saturday is going to be a marathon for me. I have our family Christmas in the morning. I have Christmas with the in-laws in the evening, and then I gotta watch the Colts game. Merry Christmas, I gotta go kind of situation. Full Saturday. Hopefully it ends with a Colts dub.
Maybe go to Bed Bath & Beyond. Just don't know if you'll have time, Dizz.
Exactly. If I had time, I would get some of those $10 3-wick candles, mahogany teakwood, all season long.
Gosh. Well, for the record, I was also looking at the over in this Patriots-Colts game, but since I took them as my favorite underdog, I didn't want to double dip, but that total seemed low to me as well. So, good on you on that one. All right, Dizz. Gun to your head, you have taken over this weekend. Which one are you looking at?
Or taking under.
Under. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Vikings Bears 44. I don't know what to think about the Vikings, and I think the Bears put up more points than they will, and they have in a long time last weekend against the Packers. They kind of threw everything at Green Bay, treated it like the Super Bowl, if you will, and I think they're going to come back. They're going to come back slow. I think they used all their tricks against Green Bay. I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota scored some points, but I would be very surprised if the Bears put up more than 20. So I'm liking this under. I don't think I'm going to take it, but this game will be on my TV because my roommate is a Bears fan. So T's and P's to Matty Ice for being a Bears fan because I know it's tough out there right now.
So tough. All right, Connor, favorite under this weekend?
I've got the Falcons 49ers under 46 points. I think the 49ers defense are just going to demolish the Falcons, and it's going to be pretty one-sided if the 49ers are going to be able to pass the ball as well as they should be, or as well as everyone has thought they should be able to all season long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not much to it.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah. The Falcons offense, you never know what you're going to get. But the 49ers, I think, surprise some people this season, and I agree with your analysis.
They do have a solid defense going for them.
Yeah.
Their offense isn't doing anything, though.
Are you telling the Falcons have a solid defense or the 49ers?
No, 49ers.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Okay. And
No, anyone can score on the Falcons.
Yeah. And then my favorite under, I went Browns Raiders under 38. Now, asterisk here because this game got moved to. I don't remember if this one got moved to Monday or
41.5.
Tuesday. We now have 2 games on Tuesday. We have 2 games on Monday night now for this weekend due to COVID and whatnot. It got this total has moved to 41.5. This game was supposed to happen on Saturday, and there was some inclement weather was supposed to happen on Saturday. Now I assume because they moved this to Monday or Tuesday, maybe the weather's not looking as bad, and so this total has moved, or they think that maybe some of the Browns players will get back and be able to play. I don't know. I still am going with the under here. I think I'm banking on. You all right there, Dizz? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, fire truck drove past. Sorry about that, boys.
Call an ambulance, but not for Dizz.
For that under 38, what are we doing? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think Baker Mayfield's playing. I'm hoping the weather still sucks. I'm hoping this just is a stinker of a game. I'm hoping it's like a 10-6 ball game, but who really knows?
As long as the Browns win, I'm good.
10-6 Browns, right?
Yeah.
Then everybody wins.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at the games we did not touch. Someone touched Panthers Bills, didn't they?
Nope.
No. Bills minus 12. Diz, you going certified cover boy here?
I am not. I think the Bills are struggling, and I know they fought hard against the Bucs late and almost came back and almost won that game, but I don't trust the 12 points. I know the Panthers are bad, but Bills might get away with winning a close one here.
So full transparency here, Diz. I might be doing a teaser this weekend.
Oh shit!
I don't normally do the teasers, but there's a lot of games this weekend that I was looking at that like, oh man, a teaser might be the way to go this weekend.
Teasing dogs up or teasing favorites down?
Favorites down. I'm a big favorites.
Wow.
I'm a big bet the favorites even when they're heavy favorites. But
well, that's the beauty of a tease.
This weekend I might be looking to tease some of these down, and that Bills game is definitely one of them. And then this next one that no one touched would also maybe be one of them. Cardinals versus the Lions. Cardinals 13-point favorites at the Lions. Any particular way you guys are feeling on that one? I mean,
only on a tease. I like less than a touchdown on a tease, so maybe a 7-point tease.
I might even only do like a 4-point tease. I like them at touchdown and a field goal. I don't know. John, are you touching this one at all? No.
No. I want nothing to do with it.
And here's another one. We're just going down this teaser for me. We're basically putting this out as I'm looking at these. Jets, Dolphins. Dolphins 9.5-point favorites at home versus the Jets. Jets.
Dolphins by how much? I'm sorry.
9.5.
I do like the Dolphins. They are hot right now, and you can argue they haven't played anyone, but the Jets are no one. So maybe in a favorite down tease. You know what, Patty? Since you're doing a teaser, maybe I'll take a favorites down tease with you, Bob.
Connor, you got a little look on your face there. You feeling the Jets in this one?
I was gonna take the Jets.
Okay, hey, I can't fault you for it. I mean, the Dolphins are certainly a team where you could say, who are they actually? You know, could they?
I'm gonna say both of these are just two of the shittiest teams in the NFL, and to give either one 9 points would be atrocious.
Right, and that's why I would tease them
won
down.
4 straight.
Because I don't trust them as double-digit favorites, but I maybe trust them when you get them down below a touchdown.
Against who though, Diz?
Doesn't matter. They're a playoff team, baby.
They're a playoff team.
Hold on. So the Dolphins, they their 5-game win streak. They might have more than 5-game win streak, but this is just the last 5 that showed up on this this thing I'm looking at. Giants, Panthers, Jets, Ravens, Texans.
Hey.
Now the interesting thing is when
Ugh.
they were at the Jets, they only won by a touchdown, and yet they are 9.5-point favorites. Now,
The Ravens is the only, I'd say good, but I hesitate to say good, the only good team on that list.
so here's another. Yes, I agree with you there. But here's the question for you. So in that game where the Dolphins won by a touchdown against the Jets at New York, so do you give the excuse me? Do you give the Dolphins an extra field goal for them being at home versus the Jets?
I say division games usually split.
Do you still have that up, Patty? What's the point differential against those bad teams? Because I don't. Have they had any close ones? I mean, obviously they haven't played good teams, but if they're beating teams by a lot and they're covering,
They only
I would. Go ahead.
They only beat the Jets by 7. Everything else has been. They beat the Texans by 8. They beat the Ravens by 12. They beat the Panthers by 23, and they beat the Giants by 11. So they haven't necessarily been blowing these teams out.
Have they covered in all of those games?
That I do not know. I don't know what.
I
would
bet
assume
it's
that-
close. I bet it's 4-1 or 5-0. To be honest with you.
Possibly, but so let's examine that Jets Dolphins game that happened 3 weeks ago. Okay.
We have to examine these teams.
This is for these are for my purposes more than anything else.
Okay.
So you're welcome, Connor. So the Dolphins won by 7 in New York. Now, our boy Flacco was the starting quarterback in that game. Zach Wilson is probably starting this game this weekend. So with the Dolphins being at home, with Flacco not being at the helm, with Zach Wilson being at the helm, do you trust the Dolphins more or less than that 7 points when they won on the road in New York?
I would say more because they're hot and they're at home and they're off a bye. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah, you are correct. Yes.
Give me. I don't think I would take 9.5, but I'm gonna put them in a favorites down tease for sure.
Love it. And then this next one, Cowboys Giants. It's the same thing. I probably tease them down. They're the Cowboys 10.5-point favorites currently. I actually don't hate them at 10.5, but if I'm going with this big tease favorites down, I mean, why wouldn't I, right?
Hell yeah.
Connor, you're the NFC East expert. What are you feeling on that one?
I don't know.
You,
What are you feeling on it?
you have that inkling of doubt, don't you, that the Giants could cover that 10.5?
I do.
Yeah. I kind of
Just
have
because
that as well.
It feels like the Cowboys have kind of faltered
Yeah.
a decent amount. Like they started very hot early on, and you're like, this team is going to blow away the rest of the NFC East. And now it seems like they're letting everybody else stay within reach.
Now the Cowboys are starting to cowboy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone comes out praising them, thinking they're the best team in the league, and then they kind of falter. And I know at least I've mentioned this at some point in these episodes on this podcast before, but the Cowboys' defense is very opportunistic. They force turnovers, and usually they'll even return those turnovers or those punt return, kick return, touchdowns, whatever. Their defense and special teams, usually when they make plays, they make them big. So when those turnovers and those opportunities aren't there, then you kind of see them not blowing these teams out or maybe even winning these games that they should. So if the Giants can hold on to the ball and not make the stupid mistakes, which it's the Giants, they definitely could make those mistakes. But if they kind of don't give those opportunities to the Cowboys defense and special teams, I could see this being like a field goal game easily.
Who's the starting quarterback for the Giants?
I believe it is Mike Glennon.
Okay.
Danny Dimes is not playing.
Yeah, I figured that one.
But I believe it is Glennon, and if Glennon's hurt, then it's that Jake Fromm character.
Inject Mike Glennon into my veins. Even though Cowboys were my favorite,
What?
I do love me some Mike Glennon.
Well, and we definitely talked about
Literally
that game.
has the biggest neck I'd ever seen.
Yeah, he does have a big neck. And
Go ahead, Pat. I'm walking inside. I'm gonna lose you guys.
Okay, I definitely forgot. We definitely already talked about that game because Dizz definitely had that. But I think that's a game that I'm definitely going to have my favorites teased down at some point. This next game's super gross. Titans Steelers. This game is just a pick 'em at this point. I know. I
I'd flip a coin, and I still wouldn't trust the coin.
yeah. Saints Buccaneers. This is another favorite I'm probably going to tease down. Buccaneers 11.5-point favorites.
Ooh, that's a lot of points.
That's what I'm thinking. It's a division game. It's a lot of points. I know Taysom Hill's in there, but I think Kamara's back.
The Saints are pretty bad
But
without Breeze. But
against,
that's a lot of points.
especially in a division. And I believe the Saints even beat the Buccaneers earlier on this season.
I think so.
Again, that would be one I'll probably look to tease down. And the Tuesday game, Seahawks Rams. Any thoughts on that one? Another divisional game.
What's the spread on it?
I don't think it's out there yet because of the COVID outbreak for the Rams.
I'll take the Rams minus a touchdown.
Okay,
Anything beyond that, and I would stay away.
gotcha. And then football team Eagles.
So, I mean, Heineke's not in like
Right.
100%, right?
Heineke's not playing. Period. He's just
Okay.
not playing.
Stay
if it was
away.
7,
Too many COVID concerns for me.
If it was just 7, I'd be like, okay, it's probably going to break even or go less, but 7.5, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like I said, Eagles blow the game in the fourth quarter.
I might do it, Connor. If I'm feeling a certain kind of way on Tuesday, I might do it. Take the what'd you say? Washington football team first half and then Eagles full game.
Yeah, well, this may not be the team to do it against. A lot of COVID questions. This is probably not the team.
Yeah.
This could be one that the Eagles just blow them out outright every quarter.
Yeah, definitely could.
It would be the only game that they do it this entire season, but
Who knows? All right. Good Football Friday. Lots of question marks this weekend with the COVID. I find it very interesting, and the NFL's getting a lot of criticism and slack for this because if you recall at the beginning of the season, the NFL was like, hey, if you guys have a COVID outbreak and you have to cancel the games due to COVID, it's a forfeit. We won't reschedule or postpone these games. And now this weekend they're moving and postponing games, and everyone's like, hey, what the heck is going on? Darius Slay, is he still on the Eagles, Connor?
yes.
I saw him tweet out saying like, hey, I thought they were going to forfeit if we had to move or postpone these games, huh? So very, very interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
You know, it's easy to say when you're not the team that's having to deal with those issues. So I will say that against one of the Eagles' own players, I really like Darius Slay.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's been a beast on defense, but I think he's in the wrong there on his tweets.
Yeah. I am just...
I do think overall they should follow through with what they've told everyone at the beginning.
Yep.
And that you prepare with who you have. I don't think they should be moving these games. But I also don't agree that his point would be correct.
I'm okay with moving it later in the weekend. You know, like for instance, they moved the Browns game from Saturday to Monday or to Tuesday or whatever it is. I'm okay with that. If it gets to the point where they have to like reschedule it to later in the season, then maybe we talk about forfeiting.
Yeah. I think that's their biggest concern was that they had to do it for 1 or 2 games last year.
Correct.
That may have been what they were referring to. I'm not 100% sure what exactly they meant. So They could be looking to move games by a few days. It's got to be rough to be a Monday night game, though, if that one has to be pushed back at all. because I don't think they'd be willing to do that. And then to move a game to Tuesday, that's a very short week if you're moving a game to Tuesday.
Yeah, for sure. And then one thing you said there just kind of reminded me of something that happened earlier on in the year. So you're talking about like changing things middle of the year, like you say something at the beginning of the year, then you change it halfway through. Just reminds me back to the spider tack days of baseball when, halfway through the season, they're like, all right, we're going to start checking for foreign substances. You can't, use sunscreen or spider tack or anything like that halfway through the season, and people just lose their shit. So, but oh well, what are you going to do, right?
Just live with it.
Yep. All right. Dumbest Dummy Competition bets. I went 0-2 yesterday. I don't think I've hit a bet in like a week on these. I'm really just killing it. Connor, how did your 11 Dumbest Dummy picks do last night?
Went 5-6, so obviously going down, but it's not 0-6 like it was the other day. So I had 0-3, 0-3, 0-6, and now I'm finally hitting some because there's no way that 11 of them are not going to hit. So
there you go. Dizz, are you with us? Do you have how your Dumbest Dummy picks did last night?
Yes, I am here.
Are you eating something?
Yep, I just put a chocolate in my mouth.
Unbelievable.
Sorry about that.
Unprofessional, to say the least.
I'm sorry.
At least you didn't do it on camera, I guess. I guess that's a positive.
he says, "Oh wait."
Yeah. 0-2. So sick. Great night.
Yeah, killing it.
I felt really good about the Chargers. I don't regret that bet at all. I knew the Chiefs had a chance to win it with their firepower. I knew that all along. If I could go back and make the same bet, I'd do it again. I'm a little shook by the Chargers' fourth down decisions. I get like analytically, but I think analytically it doesn't always make sense. I don't know. I would still bet the Chargers again if that game was played again.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that's always super unfortunate too, in a game like that where you have a team like plus a field goal and then it goes into overtime. So if that game just ended in regulation, you would have hit your bet, but because it went into overtime, you lost it.
Right.
That's gambling, baby. That's how it works.
How it goes.
All right. I'll start us off with our competition bets for tonight. I've got 2 in the NBA, and then I got a college football bowl game for you fellas.
Jeez.
Actually, I don't know if that game is happening this weekend, but we'll worry about that when we get there. If it happens next weekend or whatever, we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. So in the NBA, the first one I have a 3-pointers parlay for you fellas. So these are in the same game tonight. This is Kyle Lowry over 2.5 threes made and PJ Tucker over 1.5 threes made at plus 285 when parlayed together. That's for the Miami Heat. Both of these guys have hit this line in 4 straight games without Jimmy Butler and Bam, and both of them are out again tonight. And the Magic ranked 26th in 3-point percentage and 25th in threes allowed. So I am loving this 3-point parlay for tonight in that game.
Which 2 were they?
Kyle Lowry, is he out?
No.
PJ Tucker?
Okay, you're good.
Okay.
Is that over for both?
Yes. Over for 3-pointers made in both of those guys.
Okay, yeah. You have a plus value for Tucker at 1.5.
Yeah. It's good value. But my next one is Aaron Gordon, 20-plus points scored at plus 340 for the Denver Nuggets. This one's kind of my long shot of the night, but I do like it. He has hit this only twice in the last 10 games, but in the one game against Atlanta this season, he scored 23 points. So, and Atlanta ranks 20th in points allowed, so I think he favors in this matchup. So I'm hoping for repeat performance from him, and at plus 340, it's really good value. And then my college football one, I don't know when this is happening. It's the New Mexico Bowl, for those that care. Not a fun name. You get some really fun names in these college football bowl games, but this one's literally just called the New Mexico Bowl, so kind of a letdown as far as the name goes. but I am going UTEP money line versus Fresno State at plus 350. Now, Diz, what do you know about UTEP and me?
You were their defensive coordinator in NCAA football, and they have a special place in your heart.
Bingo. Exactly 100%. This goes back to the college football 2014 video game days. I was the defensive coordinator, and I did get promoted to head coach. So I ran that UTEP program through some great days in that video game. But I heard today that UTEP hasn't won a bowl game in 54 years. This year, that changes. Let's go Miners, baby. So there you go.
Yeah. Patty loves Miners. Got it.
Oh, God. That got taken to a place.
That's the name of the pod. That's the name of the pod.
I don't hate it. It's pretty good.
Just make sure you spell it right.
Yes, clearly.
Oh man, the
So-
FBI is gonna be listening to that episode.
Hey, we'll take all the listens we can get, right?
The most listened to episode.
We see 50 listens in a matter of a couple weeks because the FBI had to listen to the episode and see like what he was talking about.
Oh,
When we were talking about clickbait title episodes, I don't think that's what we were going for. But hey, you do what you got to do.
Not what I signed up for.
And Connor left the podcast permanently because he was not signed up for that. All right, Connor, get us back on track here. Give us some dumbest dummy competition bets.
Okay. How many do you think I have tonight?
Oh dear God, I can't even guess anymore. I mean, you had 6 one night, you had 11 the next. I don't think you'll go more than 11, but I have no idea.
I'm going with 8.
Okay, you're bringing it back down a little bit, just a little.
Yeah, just a little. So I'm readjusting the formula from the 11
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
So, as always, on Football Friday, I'm taking my 4 Football Friday together.
Yep.
There's a 0-1 right there, as it is every other week. But I need points, or I need units. I need to come up. So Football Friday, recap: Browns -1, Bengals +2.5, Packers Ravens over 43.5, and Falcons under 46. And I get that parlayed together at 1277. Okay. The rest of them are on the ice. Okay.
Yep.
Similar to last night.
Yep.
I realized my mistake from last night, though.
Okay. I can't wait to hear this.
So, last night, I hit 5 of 7 games and realized I should have went with that instead of the over. Taking the over in every single one. Because picking one side in every game is not going to be too accurate, I don't think. Especially if you have plus odds on some. I feel a lot better about gauging who's going to win each of these games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have Golden Knights beating the Rangers.
Okay.
I have Penguins versus Sabres over 5.5.
Okay.
Shocked it's still at 5.5. Blues money line versus Stars. Not too confident about this one, but Jets money line versus Capitals. This one was wild to me. Predators money line versus Blackhawks, and the Blackhawks are favorites. So I don't know what's going on there. I know Predators just played last night, but I think that is a fake stat, as we had mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
Fake news.
Mm-hmm.
Ducks versus Coyotes, last one over 5.5.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
I think Ducks are going to have a good game.
Yeah, so why wouldn't you just pick the Ducks instead of picking the over?
Because the Coyotes have come out of nowhere in some games, and that makes me nervous.
Okay.
Because Coyotes are playing for nothing, and they have nothing to lose, so they will do anything they can. Last pick, parlay all of them together except for the Jets game. I don't feel too confident about the Jets game.
So you took all of them individually, and
And then together,
okay.
except for the Jets one.
Okay.
And that's at 25.86.
Okay. There you go. Diz, what do you got for your dumbest dummy picks?
So I have a NFL tease, of course.
Yep.
Patriots up to +9 against the Colts. Texans up to +11 against the Jags, and the Bengals up to +9 against the Broncos. Got that at +130 odds. And then this is straight from Patty Parlays himself. I did not come up with this, but he sent this to me, and I am all on board. It is a how many shots on goal parlay. I got Jonathan Marcus Salt over 2.5, Kyle Okposo over 1.5, and Pavel Buchnevich over 2.5.
Oh,
All
yeah.
those together are +321.
I just want to say
Those
you
are
did
my-
a fantastic job doing those names. When I looked at those names, I was like, I can't wait to see how he tries to pronounce these, and I think you nailed them.
I probably got them all wrong, but you got to sound confident.
Yeah. Hey, believe me, you're talking to me. I'm all about that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, love the shots on goal parlay. All right. Group best bets. As a group, we are up 0.4 units, so we are still positive for the month. Look at us go. I think we can definitely say Bengals
Patriots.
plus Bengals and Patriots.
Well, I mean, we were all together on the Patriots.
Well, I was the only one that wasn't on the Bengals, and I'm okay with it.
Okay.
So let's see. Bengals plus
Bengals
2.5.
2 weeks in a row.
Hey, we like to live dangerously. We're doing it
Patriots.
plus the points, right?
Patriots plus 2.5.
Yeah, both of them are at plus 2.5 right now.
Okay.
Let's see what else.
Penguin Sabres over 5.5.
I don't know about that one, man. I know it's Sabres. I know you like to take the over 5.5, but the Penguins,
Sabres.
I don't know about the Penguins, man.
Oof.
Oof.
That's a pretty sad night. No Avalanche, no Kraken, no Oilers.
I don't know if it's the Avalanche. The Panthers are definitely not playing again until after Christmas.
Oh,
There was at least like 3 or 4 teams that basically said they're not playing until after Christmas.
I think the Panthers need it right now.
He's not wrong.
I think they're going to come back to where they were after this.
It's brilliant.
Brilliant. Oh gosh, I don't know.
That wasn't a slight against the Panthers. It's just
They've been
it
struggling.
hasn't looked good.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything that catches my eye. Connor, do not bet the Timberwolves tonight.
Did I?
I think you probably did, but one of their players got COVID. One of the top 3 that I told you that if they aren't playing, you can't bet on them.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lakers
Okay,
might
you
win
want
by 20 tonight.
Let me tell you who I got in the NBA.
I mean, you can if you want. I have a inkling on some of them, but
Let me know what you disagree with.
okay.
But I definitely did have the Timberwolves.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to fix that.
Yep.
I can't fix the parlay, though.
No,
Oh,
you'll
that
have to
sucks.
probably bet another parlay because I'm sure the value on that is just tanked.
Yeah. So I took the Heat -4.
That's up to -9.
Oh, thank God. I have the Hawks -4.
Yep.
Warriors -3.5.
That's to -5.
Okay. They're all going in the right direction for me, at least, so I know
Yeah.
something.
Except for the Timberwolves, but
The Bucks -3.5.
it's -1.5.
Oh, shit. I said something too soon.
Mhm.
The Jazz had a lot of points.
Yep.
I did the Spurs +12.
Oof. That's an interesting game though. That one I can see either way.
Yeah, then I took the Timberwolves. Last one,
Did you take the Wolves
Trailblazers.
money line?
I took them. Yeah, I took the money line.
Okay.
Then Trailblazers -1.5.
I differed on a few of them. I originally matched on quite a few of them, but I went Pelicans +3.5 versus the Bucks. I went Jazz -12 versus the Spurs. I originally had Timberwolves moneyline versus the Lakers, but I also switched that. And then I went Hornets moneyline versus the Trailblazers. So,
So back to our third best bet.
yeah, I don't know.
Any NBA you want?
What about Aaron Gordon over 14.5 points?
I do like that one quite a bit. I told Dizz that Dizz was looking for some information, so I gave him that shots on goal parlay. I also gave him the Aaron Gordon over on his points. I for my dumbest dummy, I went him over 20 points. So I think 14.5. I think that's almost a lock almost.
Value of that?
Hold on.
I think it's -108 or something.
-104 now. So
You're not as confident.
let's do that. Gordon over. Hold on, did it just move? No. It's actually now -102. So heyo. Getting that 2 cents. All right, boys, you ready for the Hail Mary multi-sport parlay of the day?
Yes, because it wasn't in the notes.
No, it was. It was in there.
I don't see it in there.
You just didn't scroll down far enough.
Oh, it was a 3-pager.
Yeah. I
Oh,
spaced it out.
too many notes.
Yeah. Well,
Too much reading. I couldn't do it.
I get it. Any guesses on value, or did you just see the value?
I just looked at it.
Okay. That's fine. Diz?
900.
It is $1 to win $2,285.37.
Yeesh.
We got Heat -4 versus the Magic, Hawks -4 versus the Nuggets, Warriors -3.5 versus Celtics, Pelicans +3.5 versus the Bucks, Jazz -12 versus Spurs, Lakers moneyline versus the Timberwolves. I did make that change. And then Hornets moneyline versus the Trailblazers. And then on the ice, I got Rangers moneyline versus the Golden Knights, Penguins moneyline versus Sabres, Blues moneyline versus Stars, Jets moneyline versus Capitals, Blackhawks moneyline versus the Predators, and Ducks moneyline versus Coyotes.
I don't like your Blackhawks.
I know. I struggled very hard with that game. That was probably one of the few that I struggled with. I just really think the Blackhawks are playing well at home. Also, did you see the Jets actually got rid of their head coach? Or
Did
the head coach stepped down. So that's very interesting considering they were actually playing good puck. I mean, they were.
Did you hear Urban Meyer's gone?
I did.
Oh wait, we talked.
Yeah. R.I.P. Urban Meyer.
Just want to make sure everyone knows
Okay.
that the Jags are still terrible, but with or without him.
Wow. Okay. I get it. Just
When you come out early on saying it's like playing Bama every week, shows that you don't have much confidence in your team.
Yeah. That's not. It's not usually a good sign of things to come. All right, boys. Anything else you guys need to get off chest before we call it a week?
Go Colts, baby.
He says as we all have money.
I was gonna say best bets.
Yeah.
Best bets. Patriots. Go Colts.
Yeah.
Go Colts, baby.
Connor, anything from you?
Don't have anything to say about the Eagles because it's a Tuesday game, so I can hold off on that until Monday. But not going to talk about Jalen Hurts anymore today, at least. Yeah, I think I'm good.
All righty. Love it. Well, I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Make sure you check us out on Twitter and Instagram at SportsBet by Dumb. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search Sports Betting by Dummies in your YouTube search bar. Filter by channel. You should see us. We should be the first one on there. Look for the black and yellow logo. I hope everyone has a nice, long, profitable weekend, and we will see you all on Monday.